What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Xavier Law Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah, and today, y'all, we have another team NFL mock draft. And the team that's on the clock is the Los Angeles Chargers. As y'all know, the Chargers made some massive moves in their front office and on their coaching staff as they hired Jim Harbaugh to be their new head coach, and they hired Joe Ortiz to be their new general manager. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into it. So here we are on the clock at pick 5. And y'all, on yesterday, their general manager, Joe Ortiz, he came out and said that it would take a very attractive offer for the Chargers to trade down. Translation, y'all, that means a team that wants to come get pick 5, you're going to have to give up a lot. Okay, let's be honest. You're going to give up a lot. And I don't know if a team will be willing to do that because Joe Ortiz, he's going to ask for a lot. And so I think the Chargers are going to stay at pick 5. If they do stay at pick 5, y'all, I had them taking Malik Nabers, wide receiver, out of LSU. I think Malik Nabers is the second best wide receiver in this draft class. Most years, he would be the best. If it wasn't for Marvin Harris Jr., he would be the best wide receiver. But, y'all, he is still an elite prospect himself. When I did my scouting report on him a couple of months ago, I compared him to Antonio Brown and Jamar Chase. So I think he's going to be an all-pro wide receiver. I mean, y'all, the Chargers need this, right? They got their franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert. Well, now you can get him his franchise wide receiver for years and years and years to come. You know, last year in the draft, they took Quentin Johnston, 21st overall. He had a pretty bad rookie season, but hey, he was just a rookie. I think he'll have a pretty solid sophomore campaign. And if y'all draft Malik Nabers, then hey, now Quentin Johnston can be your number 2 wide receiver. You still got Josh Palmer. He could be your number 3 wide receiver. So that's not a great wide receiver core, but you will have Malik Nabers, and you will have Quentin Johnston, and you will have Josh Palmer. So 3 young guys that you feel pretty solid about moving forward. You can continue to add to that position if you want to. But yeah, I just think Malik Nabers makes too much sense. All right, y'all. So we're going to be back on the clock, pick 37. And there's a guy that I really, really, really hope is still here. We're going to reject these trades. Look at this. The Raiders, the Chargers rival. But please, I'm hoping this guy is still here on defense. And yes, he is, y'all. The guy I was talking about is Iowa State cornerback TJ Temple. I'm a huge fan of TJ Temple. I think you can make a case for him being one of the top 5 cornerbacks in this class. When you talk about a guy, y'all, that's nearly 6'2", about 198 pounds, long arms, very aggressive, very physical, right? He can jam he can jam wide receivers. He can really get into their chest. Now, sometimes that hurts him, right? Because he get called for a lot of penalties. But most of the time, it helps him because those wide receivers he's going against, they're just not able to be physical back at him. And y'all, Jim Harbaugh would love TJ Temple because you know why? He's not afraid to tackle. We know Jim Harbaugh, he loves his corners. He loves his safeties to be able to tackle, not be afraid to get nasty, get mean. And TJ Temple, he embodies a Jim Harbaugh style DB. I would really love this from a fit perspective. Then from a need perspective, the Chargers really, really need help in their secondary, right? They have Asante Samuel Jr. He's a good player. But outside of him, they signed Christian Fulton. Trust me, Chargers fans, I'm a Titans fan. Y'all are not going to like Christian Fulton. And then you have Derwin James. But y'all, outside of Asante Samuel Jr. and Derwin James, this is not a good secondary. Not only do they need more starters, more talent, they need depth. But if you get TJ Temple, he could give you a starter. I think he would be able to start day 1. And now you have him and Asante Samuel Jr. as the 2 outside corners. I really would feel good about that. Y'all, I'm telling you, Chargers fans, if y'all take TJ Temple, you are really going to like this kid because very aggressive, very physical. Like I said, he's not afraid to tackle. And then he's really solid in man and zone coverage. So had them taking TJ Temple with the 37th pick. Y'all, we're going to be back on the clock at pick 69. And again, look at this. Another trade offer from an AFC West team. This is just so funny. First it was the Raiders. Now it is the Broncos, excuse me. So y'all, we're back on the clock now. And trying to look at some of these offensive linemen. So Cedric Van Pran is still here. Oh, I really, really like this. I'm surprised he's still here. Now, Chargers fans, before y'all tell me, hey, we don't need a center, okay? Corey Linsley decided not to retire. First off, y'all, Corey Linsley, right, he's 33. And we know there's a strong chance this is probably going to be his last season. So I think the Chargers need to address interior offensive line in the draft. And y'all, Cedric Van Pran, center out of Georgia. I think this will make a ton of sense. He's about 6'4", 290 pounds. Actually, didn't run too bad at the time. I mean, he ran a 5'2". I don't think that's too bad for a guy his size. But y'all, he reminds me a lot of like a Lloyd Cushenberry, right? He's very light on his feet. He's really good in pass and run block, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, he's out the, he maybe could put on some more weight because he's only 298. So I think he should maybe get around about 315 or maybe 320, be a little bit bigger. Because 298 for a center, I admit, yes, that is pretty light. But, I mean, I think he's a really good player. And like I said, I think he's a good pass protector and run protector. Now, he does have short arms. But, I mean, hey, for a center, that's not really the biggest deal. Now, if he was a tackle, that would be a huge problem, right? If you're a tackle with short arms, like, that can cause problems if you're going against long arm edge rushers. But if you're a center with short arms, I mean, you still can have success, y'all. There's been plenty of centers with short arms, like Marquise Pouncey, right? So I don't think it's going to be a problem. But I love this pick. Again, I feel like it's a need because even though Corey Linsley's still on the team, I think he's going to be retiring probably after this season. All right, y'all, so we're going to be back on the clock at pick 105. And at this point, I feel like we've addressed the biggest needs on wide receiver, corner, and offensive line. So y'all, and why this is so crazy, because I was finna look at DT, because the Chargers, we know for the last 2 or 3 seasons, their run defense has been god awful. But there's a guy here, y'all, by the name of Mason Smith. And it's kind of crazy that Mason Smith is still here, because you talk about a couple years ago, y'all, he was seen as a slam dunk first round pick. I mean, his freshman year was phenomenal. I mean, it was, right? He had 4 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, 19 tackles, and he was so impactful in the run game. And then you look at the last 2 years, right? I mean, he tore his ACL in that 2022 opening game against Florida State. And it just seems like ever since that ACL injury he suffered back in 2022, y'all, he hasn't been right. This is a guy that still has the talent. He's a huge dude, 6'6", about 316 pounds. And I still think, y'all, like I said, that talent is still in him. It really is. He just needs to get healthy. And I think he needs to play with some more consistency. If he does those 2 things, Mason Smith could be a really impactful player. And even if, y'all, he never gets back to those flashes that he showed his freshman year, when he showed he could be like a solid pass rusher, at the very least, Mason Smith can be a run stopping nose tackle, which is what the Chargers absolutely need, y'all. Like I said a couple of minutes ago, their run defense has been like basically bottom 5 the last 2 or 3 seasons. So they must improve that. Mason Smith will help you do that again. If he's healthy and if he's consistent, if his attitude is right, this can end up being a really, really, really great value pick for the Chargers, y'all. So we're back on the clock at pick 110. And at this point, I think I'm going to just go with who I feel like they should take. Now, you can still add more to the secondary, right? Now, you can never have enough players in your secondary. But I don't I see Elijah Jones, but this would be too early, in my opinion, to take him. So, y'all, let's go. Let's see. So, we got linebacker. What about edge? Because they can still go edge. I know Khalil Mack is back. Joey Bosa's still there, but I think they can still go edge. Don't really want to take another wide receiver. So, y'all, I think I'm going to have them taking Javon Solomon, edge rusher, out of Troy. Again, like I just said a few seconds ago, yes, I know they brought Khalil Mack back. Yes, I know Joey Bosa is back as well. But one of those guys could be gone next year. And, y'all, you could just never have enough edge rushers. And Javon Solomon, man, this dude, I know he went to Troy, but, y'all, this guy can play. Ran a 4.72, had a 37 on the vert jump. Now, he is small, right? He's 6'1", 246 pounds. So that kind of does concern you. But I do think, y'all, that he could be a situational pass rusher. I think that's what he's going to be. Until he gets stronger, I don't think he can be, a 3-down player. But I think he can be a situational pass rusher, a guy that can probably get you 8 to 10 sacks, y'all. Like, seriously, just being a situational guy. Kind of like what Brandon Graham did for the Eagles back in 2022. I think he could be similar to that, just being not. I'm not saying he's similar to Brandon Graham in terms of play style, but just being a situational guy. I think he could do that. And maybe one day he can become a 3-down player. But right now, because he is so undersized, he just needs to be a situational pass rusher. But that's great, right? That's great because he definitely has the pass rushing moves and he has the speed to be able to produce. So I like this pick for the LA Chargers, y'all. We're going to be back on the clock at pick 140 before I make this selection. Let's just recap very quickly. So at pick 5, took Malik Nabers. At pick 37, TJ Tampa. Pick 69, we took Cedric Van Pran. At pick 105, we took Mason Smith. And at pick 110, we took Javon Solomon. So y'all, we got 4 picks, and then we will be done. So we have pretty much addressed all the needs, right? Edge, D tackle, wide receiver, corner, offensive line. And now, y'all, I think you could just add potential depth excuse me, you can add depth at some of these positions. So, Joe Milton is there. Yeah, y'all, why not? Joe Milton, quarterback out of Tennessee, Mr. Strong Arm himself. When you look at the Chargers, right, last year when Justin Herbert went down, y'all, they did not have a capable backup, right? I mean, no disrespect to Easton Stick, but he just could not get it done. Now, I'm not saying that was all on him, but he just couldn't get it done. So why not take a chance on a guy in Joe Milton that has a strong arm and can run, right? Joe Milton kind of reminds you of a creative player on Madden. So why not take a chance on him, y'all? I have them taking Joe Milton, quarterback out of Tennessee, at pick 140. Again, it might not work out with him, but hey, it doesn't matter. At this point in the draft, you're just trying to add depth at certain positions. That's really what you're trying to do. All right, y'all. Speaking of depth, why not? Let's take another offensive lineman. Let's take Christian Jones, tackle out of Texas. Y'all, I don't think Christian Jones, and I might be wrong, I don't think he'll ever be a starting level tackle, but I think he could be a good swing tackle. And, you can never have enough of those guys in the NFL, right? You need depth, especially on the offensive line. So why not take Christian Jones? He has pretty good size. He's 6'6", 221 pounds. So he's huge. He started a lot of games. Right? He started 48 games in college, so he has a ton of experience. He's not quick on his feet, right? He has some really heavy feet, but again, he could be a nice swing tackle. Maybe he can provide some value on special teams. So let's take Christian Jones, tackle out of Texas. And then, y'all, I think we got a couple of more picks left. Yes, at 225 and 253. So at 225, let's see if any running backs here that I would still take. Let's see. So I see Amani Bailey. Okay, Dylan Johnson, Jason McClendon, Kendall Milk. Okay, Austin Jones. Y'all, I'm going to have the Chargers taking Amani Bailey, running back out of TCU. Obviously, they lost Austin Eckler. So, hey, they could bring in Amani Bailey. And I know they brought in, Gus Edwards. But y'all, 1-year deal, right? So I wouldn't have a lot of trust in Gus Edwards. You can never have enough running backs, right? You never can have enough running backs, especially in today's game, considering that most teams have a rotation with their running backs. So I like them to take Amani Bailey and pick 225. Again, that's another guy that could maybe be a value on special teams. Y'all, with our last pick at 253, I think I'm going to go back to defense and look for a corner. I don't even know if he's still going to be here. Oh, yes, he is still here. Kamal Hayden, cornerback out of Tennessee. We're going to finish it out taking him. So there y'all have it. That is my 2024 Chargers mock draft. To recap, y'all, pick 5, we took Malik Nabers. Pick 37, we took TJ Tampa. Pick 69, we took Cedric Van Pran. Pick 105, we took Mason Smith. Pick 110, we took Javon Solomon. Pick 140, we took Joe Milton. Pick 181, we took Chris Jones. Pick 225, we took Amani Bailey. And then pick 253, we took Kamal Hayden. Y'all know I'm an Indian man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.